Jerry Brown here with Jerry Brown Travels.
Lori here.
In this video, we're going to show you a single woman who's come down to Mexico. She's retired early and she's living on $1,200 a month.
Yeah, we're so exciting to go interview her. She spent everything, entertainment, the food, the apartment, everything, the clothes. It's $1,200 a month.
Total expenses is what she's spending for a single woman. Isn't this great? And you know something? Like she says, you can do it too.
On the end of this video, if you like it, press on Jerry picture that you subscribe. It's free.
I'm excited about this interview today. We're going to interview Carol Kaufman, and what's exciting about it is that she decided to retire early. That's a great idea, isn't it? And also to venture down into Mexico. And a lot of people are apprehensive about doing that, especially a single woman. And you know, Carol, we've been having requests by other single women that would like to have information and, you know, hear personal stories on why, you know, people have moved to Mexico. Give us a background of where you're from and why you made that decision.
Well, I've lived all my life in California, and the last part of my life was in Northern California. Had a friend that moved to San Miguel de Allende, which is a big expat community in Mexico. So I decided to visit her a few years ago. And I loved the idea of the expat, but didn't resonate with San Miguel. So I came home and I rethought things, and suddenly I got light of Ajijic from somebody that was going to be going there. So I started to Google it, and I was like, well, this looks really interesting. It's beautiful, and there's a lot of expats. So I started kind of making connections online with people, and then the timing had it just so that I was able to just come and sell my car, put stuff in storage, get a
One-way ticket.
temporary residency from the consulate. And I came, during that, my mother always used to say, what's the worst thing that can happen? And I said, the worst thing that can happen is I go back. So I'm still here a year and 3 months later. And that's how I've arrived in Ajijic.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, that process and stuff like that, were you getting any feedback from people, your friends and stuff like that? Like, aren't you afraid to go to Mexico like that?
Oh yeah, I had one friend saying, now be careful you don't get kidnapped. That was most of it was very positive, like, wow, you're so courageous. And I never used to look at myself as a courageous person, but this did feel like a really big move for me, and I just thought very exciting. What I've been able to do is study Spanish. It's given me an opportunity to learn a new language. I am a writer, and I'm a journalist, and I'm writing for the local newspaper and meeting just an amazing amount of friends. The people here are incredible.
So how about, let's say, like with the Mexican people and stuff like that, what are your feelings about, you know, living in a small village and stuff like that? Do you feel comfortable?
I feel like this feels safe to me. There's so many wonderful, warm people, the Mexicans, the gringos, the expats. There's a nice meshing of the communities together. A lot of opportunity to express yourself, volunteer. I take the bus, I walk. I don't have a car right now, so I get around by foot, and friends give me rides, and there's just an abundance of opportunity to do lots of stuff here.
Yeah. So you're a writer, and you say you're writing for the local paper.
So I get to interview different people. Sometimes the editors give me names. Sometimes I find people that I want to interview, and it's worked out very nice.
Carol, you're way too young to be collecting Social Security. You're way too young to even be retired. You know, how did you manage that?
Well, I happen to have a financial advisor back in the States, and I really sat down and looked at this and said, hey, you know, I'm thinking of going to Mexico. And he says, great. He said, he figured out all the calculations and said, if you could live on $1,200 a month, you can do it right now. And I went, all right, that's my challenge.
Right now, you can do it, he said.
I could do it. So I am doing it.
Carol, now you mentioned that you're living on $1,200 a month. And now was that for, you know, was that your food, your housing, your transportation, your entertainment, that takes care of all your living expenses? I imagine some months are a little bit lower, so maybe a little bit higher, but it seems to be averaging out about $1,200 a month.
Yeah, I believe it is. You know, when I travel, there's the airline expenses and so forth, but generally, yeah. I use a great program called MoneyWiz. It's on my iPad. I keep track of all my expenses, my credit card, my cash, checking, income, outcome, everything.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's an accurate record here. So the information you're, telling our audience here is that a single woman can, live, or a single person can live on $1,200.
A lot of opportunities and things that aren't very expensive. Yeah. Also, there's a lot of single women here, and I have friends who are single women, and often we can do things together, go to the mineral springs, or little treks around the lake, things like that.
Right.
This little village where it's so easy to connect with people of like-mindedness.
Yeah.
Much easier than all the years I was in Northern California.
Oh, really? Carol, you come from Northern California, you come from the wine country, you come from a culture where there's a lot of arts, there's a lot of, entertainment and things to do around that. Now, how was your experience down here? Do you miss that? Have you been able to get some of that type of experience, culture, here as you had up north?
There's things here that you can do to keep that going. There's organic gardening clubs, and I'm a foodie, so I like to buy my cabbage and make sauerkraut and go to the organic market every week, and there's just an array of incredible foods. There's the vegan chefs, and so it almost feels like there's nothing to really miss. And the fruits are incredible. My friends just gave me bananas off of their banana tree. It's like nothing you've ever tasted in the States. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
And of course, I love the outdoor markets, which is the variety of produce. It's just mind-boggling.
Yeah. So you buy all your vegetables and everything fresh, and you buy it at the organic market?
Right, and at the Wednesday, the outdoor markets.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just eat really healthy, and it's very easy to eat really healthy.
And it's cheap.
And it's really cheap.
What would you suggest, what would be your advice to say single women that are thinking about retiring and maybe they haven't made, proper preparation even for the retirement, that they can come down into a place like this? It could be single men. What type of things could you share with them? Because you've done it. You've done the hard part by taking those first steps to get down here. So what advice could you give some of the women there that are curious?
I did a lot of internet research, and there's so many sites, including Jerry's, that you can read about and learn about this area. Book a place to stay. Start with an Airbnb. A one-way ticket. It's like I said, we're 40 minutes from the airport. It's not difficult to get a ticket and go back. So it's like, just give it a try. Come and give it a try for a month, say.
Yeah, that's good advice. It's like, if it's your dream, and what do they say? What's the old thing? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, So it's a big elephant, to make a decision like that, men and women, it's scary, it's something new, but taking the little steps like that, then eventually you end up down here like Carol, who's, like she says, has tons of friends and socially and everything else like that. Carol, this has been fantastic, and our audience out there, I know they're going to get tons of information on here, and especially I think that what you're showing them is that it can be done, even down to the point of retiring earlier, living within a budget, which Carol definitely has done. And she has a quality life down here. And so, Carol, I just want to say thank you. And you're an inspiration, for a lot of people who have and want to make the move. But again, they're just a little bit scared about it. So I think people that are watching this video here you'll give them the encouragement to do it. Yeah.
I hope so. I can do it. And I'm seeing so many other people do it, so it's very doable.
Yeah, Jerry Brown with Jerry Brown Travels. And if you've received value out of this little video here that we've shared with you, would you do us a favor? Would you mind passing it on to some of the social media, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you have, and maybe share it with some of your friends. That would help us to get subscribers, and we'd appreciate that, wouldn't we, Carol?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Good.
Would
Thank
you do us a great favor? We would really appreciate this so much if you could subscribe, make a comment, and also if you could share it with some of your friends who may find value in it also. That would help us a lot. Maybe on your social media page, your Facebook, your Twitter, all the social media stuff that is out there today. And Lori, how can they subscribe?
Well, it's easy. You can look at Jerry picture everywhere in your corner of the computer. You press on that and then you subscribe free.
Okay. Thumbs up. Thank you.